chapter onwards.
हरी बोल, हरी बोल. Mataji, you can do kirtan for a minute.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranams,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, ma. Can we start?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Mataji, you can make me the host and then you can leave Mataji.
Yes,
Hare Krishna.
Somebody can share the screen.
Thank you,
I'll
Mataji.
start the kirtan now.
Yes,
Mataji,
Prabhuji.
who is sharing the screen?
Mataji, you or Chandana Mataji has to do, Mataji.
Okay, okay. Hare Krishna. Chandana, I will wait for Chandana Mataji. You can do kirtan for 1 minute. Prabhu, we can do kirtan till such time?
No, I am going to do it for 2-3 minutes quickly.
Okay, okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hari Haraya Namaha. Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Hari Haraye Namaha. Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Hari Haraye Namaha. Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudhana Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohana. Hari Haraye Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita. Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita. Hari Haraye Namaha. Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Shirup Sanatana Bhattaragunata Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasaragunata Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasaragunata. Hari Haraye Namaha. Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadāti Sapadāntikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapadagamanam Shri Gurun Vaishnavancha Shri Rupam Sagar Jatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sakitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lita Shri Shakantam Shri Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langedigir Metkripatam Aham Vande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam Paramananda Madam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimati Jai Pathaka Swami Namaha Charapadaya Nitya Pradaye Gaura Katha Damadaya Nagara Grama Tarine Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, we are going to start from the 4th canto, 12th chapter. Right? Dhruva Maharaj goes back to Godhead. Dhruva was a small devotee boy and he achieved the perfection in the yoga system and he got the darshan of the Lord. And the story goes on. He rules the kingdom, but he was not interested though. And his brother was killed by the Yakshas. Again, Dhruva went on fighting with them, and the entire Yakshas were about to be finished. Then Lord Brahma came and pacified him. Finally, he got pacified. So now we can understand he is going back to Godhead. In the previous verse, we can understand he was constantly engaged in transcendent living service. Such a top-class devotee is, and who is known for his lotus novel. You are therefore worthy to take all benedictions from us. Right? Who is telling? The Yakshas are telling. But interestingly, what Dhruva Maharaj is going to say, let us see it in today's verse. Okay. So before starting today's verse, let us Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Sadakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadadi Sapadandinam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Dapadagamam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagarjatam Sagagana Raghunathanvitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Harijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Radha Krishna Padam Sagagana Lilita Shri Vishakanvitam Cha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्तकांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Chandana Mataji, I myself is sharing it.
Okay, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So it's very interesting to listen to the story of Dhruva Maharaj. The Falashruti says, those who listen, they will go back to Godhead, devoid of all material desires. So, such a powerful story and such a powerful devotee too. He remains there even after the annihilations. That's another big point we have to understand. Okay, so let us get into today's verse. As we saw earlier, it is Dhruva Maharaj going back to Godhead. Before that, the Yakshas are trying to pacify him and trying to please him too. But interestingly, a pure Vaishnava, though a king, he is a Rajarishi. And he does not accept it. We have seen a number of Rajarishis in this Bhagavata Purana. Taking the case of Katwa Maharaj, he was tried to pleased by this, again the Devas, again for Muchkunda also. All these great Vaishnavas refused to take any benediction. That's very interesting. Here also, another excellent devotee. Okay. Okay, moving on to verse number 8. 4:12:8. Am I right? That's the one we have to do now.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
Maitri uvacha Saraja Rajena Varaya Chodito Dhruvo Maha Bhagavato Maha Matihi Harau Sa Vavre Chalitam Smritim Yaya Harau Sa Vavrische Achalitam Smritim Yaya Tarat Yaya Ayat Nena Duratyayam Tamaha Maitriyo Vacha Saraj Rajnena. Sorry, okay. Maitriyo Vacha Saraj राजेन वराय चोदितो ध्रुवो महाभागवतो महामतिः हरौ स वव्रे चलितां स्मृतिं यया तरत्ययत्नेन दुरत्ययं तमः. One more time, I'll read it. Maitri uvacha Saraj Rajena Bharaya Chodito Dhruvo Mahabhagavato Mahamatihi Haro Sabhavre Chalitam Smritim Yaya Taratyayatnena Duratyayam Tamaha. Okay, yeah, one of you can read the verse, synonyms, translation, and purport. Mataji, you can call out the names.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji, Danda pranams.
Hare
Vasudha Mataji, you can read the shloka. Shilpa Mataji, you can read the synonyms and translation. And Shobha Mataji, you can read the. Meenakshi Mataji, you can read the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Maitreya uvacha Sarajarajen varaya chodito dhruvo mahabhagavato mahamatihi harau savarve achalitam smritim yayaya tarati ayatnena duratyayam tamaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, you have to scroll it a little up.
Yeah, why? I am getting stuck on.
Hare Krishna. I'll
Hare
be
Krishna Prabhuji. Do you want us to share, Prabhuji, the screen?
Wait. I made some mistake. That's the reason it happened. Let us.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Shall I
No,
read them?
wait. I got it. I got it. Oh, okay. I think we have to do it. It's not happening. I made a mistake somewhere. I'm not able to.
No. Chandra Mataji, is it possible, Mataji, to share? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, I will.
By then, I will read the synonyms and translation, Prabhuji. Shilpa Mataji,
Yeah.
I'll read and then you can
Yeah.
read.
Yes, Mataji.
Synonyms. Maitreya Uvacha, the great sage Maitreya said, Raja Rajena, by the king of kings, Kuvera, Varaya, for a benediction, Choditaha, being asked, Dhruvaha, Dhruva Maharaj, Mahabhagavataha, a first class pure devotee, Mahamatihi, most intelligent or thoughtful, Harau, unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Saha, he, Vavre, asked, Achalitam, unflinching, Smritim, remembrance, Yaya, by which, Tarati, crosses over, Ayatnena, without difficulty, Duratyayam, unsurpassable, Tamaha, nescience. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. The great sage Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, when thus asked to accept a benediction from Kuvera, the Yaksha Raja, king of Yakshas, Dhruva Maharaj, that most elevated pure devotee, who was an intelligent and thoughtful king, begged that he might have unflinching faith in and remembrance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For thus a person can cross over the ocean of nescience very easily, although it is very difficult for others to cross. Hare Krishna. Meenakshi Mataji, you can read the purport. Shilpa Mataji, next shloka you can read, Mataji. Hare Krishna, sorry.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji and Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare
Purport
Krishna.
by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. According to the opinion of expert followers of Vedic rites, there are different types of benedictions in terms of religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. These four principles are known as Chaturvargas. Of all the Chaturvargas, the benediction of liberation is considered to be the highest in the material world. To be enabled to cross over material nescience is known as the highest Purushartha or benediction for the human being. But Dhruva Maharaja wanted a benediction which surpasses even the highest Purushartha, liberation. He wanted the benediction that he might constantly remember the lotus feet of the Lord. The stage of life is called as Panchama Purushartha. When a devotee comes to the platform of Panchama Purushartha, simply engaging in devotional service to the Lord, the fourth Purushartha, liberation, becomes very insignificant in his eyes. Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati has stated in this connection that for a devotee, liberation is a hellish condition of life as for sense gratification, which is available in the heavenly planets. The devotee considers it to be the will of this having no value in life. Yogis endeavor to control the senses, but for a devotee, controlling the senses is no difficulty at all. The senses are compared to serpents, but for a devotee, the serpent's poison teeth are broken. Thus, Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati has analyzed all kinds of benedictions available in this world and has clearly declared that for a pure devotee, they are all of no significance. Dhruva Maharaja was also a Mahabhagavata or a first-class pure devotee, and his intelligence was very great, Mahamati. Unless one is very intelligent, one cannot take to devotional service or Krishna consciousness. Naturally, anyone who is a first-class devotee must be a first-class intelligent person and therefore not interested in any kind of benediction within this material world. Dhruva Maharaja was offered a benediction by the kings of kings, Kuvera, the treasurer of demigods, whose only business is to supply immense riches to persons within this material world. He is described as the king of kings because unless one is blessed by Kuvera, one cannot become a king. The king of kings personally offered Dhruva Maharaja any amount of riches, but he declined to accept them. Therefore, he is described here as Mahamati, very thoughtful or highly intellectual. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So, as we analyze the shloka, a few things we can remember it. Here, it's Maitreya Muni who is addressing Vidura Maharaj. You can call him as Maharaj because he is no way attached to any royal kingdom and he is a perfect sannyasi, you can call him, because he was not at all attached to the kingly comforts and other things. That's why the moment he was waiting for Duryodhana to speak something ill of him, and he took an opportunity to get out of the kingdom. Okay, and the royal palace also. But he returned for his brother Dhritarashtra to be saved. At that time, Yudhishthira Maharaj welcomed him like anything. But he was not coming to enjoy the royal comforts. He said very clearly, I have to deliver my brother and sister-in-law, that is the Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. So that's the condition of Vidurji. So Maitreya is addressing. Then here, there are few phrases which we have to always remember are the catchy words. We have to say that. See, here the glorification of Dhruva is done. We can say that how Maitreya has considered him. Dhruvo Mahabhagavato Mahamati. Generally, we call a Bhagavata or a Buddhiman, something like that. But here he is addressing Dhruva as Mahabhagavato. He is the topmost of the Bhagavatas. And he is telling Mahamatihi, among the intellectual, he is the topmost. How? It is all going to understand from the purport. And interestingly, his request with the Yayas and Yakshas are very, very interesting. Again, what does he say? Achalita smritim harau. Harau means hari. And what does he say? Achalitam smritim. Chalita, which is shakable. Achalita, unshakable. Smritim, remembrance or chanting the names. So this is what he wanted it and nothing else. So one can understand how it is powerful this devotee is. And what is mentioned here is, the material word is mentioned here, Duratyayam. The same word has come in the Gajendra Stutya also. Duratyayam Anukramana Samavatu. Dirdikshavo Yat Padam Sumangalam. So one who reaches that, then automatically they achieve Sumangalam, Mangalam and Sumangalam, the topmost level of it. So this way, this is a top class sloka, and it is glorifying Dhruva Maharaj. So when thus asked to accept the benediction from Kuvera, the Yakshas Raja. So this Yaksha Raja, whose name it is, we have to get it from the shloka itself. In the next verse, we will be getting it. Yaida, something like that, it will come. His name is very peculiar. So, whose son is this Kubera? Okay. So, getting into that, when asked by Yaksha king, that is Kubera, what Dhruva Maharaj is telling, give me the benediction, most elevated pure devotee, and how he should be intelligent enough and thoughtful, and what does he say? Begged that he might be unflinching. Achalitam, that's the word here. Achalitam, smritim, faith in and remembrance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For that such a person can cross over the ocean of nescience very easily. There are so many words. So many words. Even the Bhagavad Gita, what does he say? Devi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya. Then what does he say? Mam eva ye prapadyante. Mam eva ye prapadyante. One who surrenders unto me, prapadyante. Mameve prapadyante maya metam tarantite. They can cross over it. There are so many verses crossing over the nescience. Okay, so it is very difficult to overcome. That's what it was mentioned, Duratyaya, very difficult. So there is one wonderful Vaishnava in our Sampradaya, and his name is Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati. And his comments on Bhagavatam is something very stupendous, all top class qualities. See, we have heard about the Purushartha, right? What are the four Purushartha? In the 8th chapter, or not, correct. In the 8th chapter, Narada Muni is explaining to Dhruva how to do the tapasya or the meditation. So at that time, Narada Muni is telling, Dharma Artha Kama Mokshakyam Yayeche Shreya Atmanaha Ekam Hi Eva Harer Tastra Karanam Pada Sevanam Harer Pada Sevanam Tatra. So one who does the lotus feet worship of the Supreme Hari, they can get all this Purushartha, right? But again, this four Purushartha has got Vargas. They call it as Vargas. And they call this also Chaturvargas. Chaturvargas, these four type of the Purushartha. So, there Narada has told him very clearly, if somebody wants this Purushartha, they have to approach Hari only, not any Tom, Dick and Harry. Not to go to Devatas or anybody for that matter. There are so many, what to say, so-called sannyasis or gurus, bogus gurus, all these things, right? They do all some gimmicks and they get something, and people are following them. So these are the foolishness. But here, even from the Devata, Dhruva Maharaj was not willing to take. That's very important. He doesn't want any Purushartha. He knows this is nothing. It's a small stone. What does he say? Again, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we can get this verse. I came for a
Broken piece of glass.
but I got
Diamond instead.
So this way,
Diamond.
you can understand how glorious is Dhruva Maharaj. So these Chatur Vargas are all easily obtainable, but it is not going to help. Why? Because Duratyaya of the material world is difficult. So for that, what do we need? Achalitam smritihi. Okay. So getting on to that, to cross over the science, one need to get out of this. Because the Purushartha, anybody can achieve it. But again, it's a temporary one. And it is also a type of sense gratification. For a pure Vaishnava, he does not have any sense gratification. Why? Because all the senses are engaged in the Krishna's services. And he is not afraid of it. But a common man, he will be afraid of his, oh, I am controlling the sense, I do this tapasya, that tapasya, all these gimmicks, they will do it. But they will not do it. What they will do? They will say, we are fasting, but they will eat behind the scene, right? They say sannyasi, and they will do all nonsense behind it. So all these foolish people, they try to cheat the world and show up the world. So this Purushartha can be obtained, but what is the use of it? That's why he's telling, I don't want to get into that. Here it is mentioned he wanted the benediction that he might constantly remember the lotus feet of the Lord. This is the topmost level of life. What is that? Panchama Purushartha. Because the first four over. Because he has crossed all those things there. First four Purushartha is no more interesting for him. What is interesting here? Panchama Purushartha. Fifth one. What is that? Remembering this lotus feet of the Lord constantly, uninterrupted. So that's why the Panchama Purushartha is very difficult to achieve unless somebody has got the senses completely diverted towards the Lord's services. And liberation as such is of no use for a Vaishnava, because liberation is a one which is temporary and it's more or less like a heavenly thing. And once again, there are possibilities of coming back down. Like when you do punya, you go to the heavenly planets. When you do papa, you go to the hellish planets. But all these things brings back to this, the Madhyaloka, Shine Punya, Madhyaloka Mishanti, Madhyaloka Mishanti. So we come back to here. Even the liberation is also of the same type. So one should not aspire for it. That's why it is condemned here. For a pure devotee, they never look for a mukti, because it is also a type of desire. Again, it's Prabhupada Saraswati is mentioning so wonderful how the pure devotees and the common man are. For a common man, controlling the sense is very difficult. For a pure devotee, is nothing. As I told you, what he does, he dovetails the senses. How dovetails? The senses which are engaged in material enjoyment is simply diverted towards serving the Lord. Automatically, the senses are more pleased because it is in touching with the original Supreme Lord. So he does not bother about it. And again, this is considered as a snake. What is that? So snaky means there is always a poison, right? Senses are really very tough. The moment you think of it, it bites you. How? To do mistakes or to do sinful activity for sense gratification. But for a pure devotee, what happens? The same serpent is there, but it does not have the teeth of the venom. So naturally, the serpent cannot do anything with the Vaishnava. So this is what we have to understand. Muktatma, what is it called as Muktatma? When they come into the material world, they are unaffected by the gunas. They are not unaffected by any type of attachment or sense enjoyment. So as we see here, Mahamatihi, because unless one has got to super duper intelligence, one cannot get out of this. Because the material attraction is always there for all common men. But for a pure Vaishnava, it is nothing. Because their intelligence is completely purified. We too have got intelligence, but it is contaminated with material thinking and sense gratification. Clear? So as we see further here, Dhruva Maharaj is considered as a first-class intelligent person. And he is no more interested in any benediction from the heavenly devatas. That's why he bluntly refused to yaksha any other material benediction, but he asked for a benediction. And what is that? It is Achalita Smritihi Hare. So we should remember that phrase, and one can always focus on Krishna consciousness, and all the material attachment and material enjoyment will go off. So, unless and until somebody takes the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, one cannot. Because Maya is very powerful, as I told you earlier. Finally, Kuvera offered him whatever he wanted. What is that? He wanted only one thing. Always remembering the Lord, which was also granted. So, though he was rich, Kuvera, with all the wealth, but he could not give anything to him because he wanted something more than the wealth what he had. Correct. Okay, let's move on to the next verse. Tasya pritena manasa tam dat vai dhavidas tatah pashyato antardade sopi swapuram pratyaya padyata Pratyata, sorry. Pratyapadyata. Okay, once again I'll read it. Tasya pritena manasa tam dvattvai davidastataha pashyato antardade sopi swapuram pratyapadyata. One more time I'll read it. Tasya pritena manasa tam dvattvai davidena tataha pashyato antardade sopi swapuram pratyapadyata.
Hare Krishna. Shilpa Mataji, you can read the shloka. Shobha Mataji, you can read the synonyms and translation. Barnali Sin Mataji, you can read the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
तस्य प्रीतेन मनसा तां दत्त्वै विस्ततः पश्यतोऽन्तर्दधे सोऽपि स्वपुरं प्रत्यपद्यत. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam, Matajis and
Hare
Prabhujis.
Krishna.
This synonyms translation purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Tasya with Dhurva, Pritena, being very pleased. Manasa with such a mentality. Tham, that remembrance. Tattva, having given. Aidhavitaha, Kuvera, the son of Idhavita. Tataha, thereafter. Pashyata, while Dhurva was looking on. Antardate, disappeared. Saha, he, Dhurva. Api also Swapuram to her city. Pratyapadhyata returned. Translation. The son of Idhavita, Lord Kuvera, was very pleased and happily he gave Dhruva Maharaja the benediction he wanted. Thereafter he disappeared from Dhruva's presence and Dhruva Maharaj returned to his capital city. Haribol. Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavats.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Mataji, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Kuvera, who is known as the son of Idavida, was very pleased with Dhruva Maharaj because he did not ask him for anything materially enjoyable. Kuvera is one of the demigods, so one may put forward the argument: why did Dhruva Maharaj take a benediction from a demigod? The answer is that for a Vaishnava, there is no objection to taking a benediction from a demigod if it is favorable for advancing Krishna consciousness. The gopis, for example, worshipped Katyayani, a demigoddess, but the only benediction they wanted from the goddess was to have Krishna as their husband. A Vaishnava who is not interested in asking any benediction from the demigods, nor is he interested in asking benedictions from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is said that in the Bhagavatam that liberation can be offered by the Supreme Person, but even if a pure devotee is offered liberation by Supreme Lord, he refuses to accept it. Dhruva Maharaj did not ask Kuvera for transference to the spiritual world, which is called liberation. He simply asked that wherever he would remain, whether in the spiritual or material world, he would always remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A Vaishnava is always respectful to everyone. So when Kuvera offered him a benediction, he did not refuse it, but he wanted something which would be favorable to his advancement in Krishna consciousness. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna. So it's a next level of explanation wherein we get another top class wisdom and the diamond, or you can call it as a ratna. So as we see here, he could have asked some benediction to please his mind, right? But he was not willing to. Because any benediction will result in any sort of attachment. Even as I told you earlier, liberation is also a type of desire. So it is condemned heavily by Prabodhananda Saraswati, last paragraph we are reading. So here, he was very much not affected by this benediction. He was very cool on that. And what does he said? Again, the same phrase comes. Achalitam smritihi. So to remember the Lord always. That means Kuvera is cool as cool. How cool? Because he's not bothered where he is going to be in the creation. any corner of the creation, no problem. But all that what he wanted is achalitam smritihi. So Kuvera was very much pleased and he gave the benediction of remembering the Supreme Lord all the time to Dhruva Maharaj. So after giving this, Kuvera disappeared from the scene. And immediately Dhruva Maharaj returned to his capital city. As we see here in the purport, Prabhupada speaks about a quality Vaishnava's behavior, or you can call it as the topmost intelligence, how it is used. See, imagine for a common man, if you go and ask some benediction, he will not just say, oh, give me that, give me this, right? But here, he was not asking for anything. Then there is a next level of asking for liberation. There are people like that who wants to get liberated from the cycle of birth and death. That's also another type of desire we just now discussed. But here, Dhruva Maharaj did not ask that also. He was very clear. I need one benediction, all the time remember you. That's it. Supreme Lord. So this can be given by any normal Devatas or Vaishnavas. Because they are all serving the Lord. So when they bless, it's definitely very powerful. And that's the right way of approaching the Devatas, Devi Devatas. Because unfortunately, in the material world, many people are approaching the Devi Devatas asking for some material benediction. And they also give this benediction, but it is all short-lived. But one should understand this is too much. Because all these are short-lived, and why to ask for it? So they should go and ask them only Krishna Bhakti. Here, Guru Maharaj has set an example for all of us. Go on, if at all, if you are getting some opportunity to get Devata benediction, ask for the Krishna Bhakti, nothing else. See, I'll tell you, there are lots of Vaishnavas who have asked the same way. Right? There is one good living example in the Ramayana. Who is that? Always looking for listening to the Katha.
Hanuman.
Very simple. He never asked for any benediction because Lord Rama said, oh, I'm taking back all of them to Vaikuntha. Are you willing to come? He said, oh, Swami, Nata, I'm not ready to. And Ramachandra is smiling gently and he's telling, what do you want? I have to listen to your Katha wherever I am. That's why we say, Yatra Yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam Tatra Tatra Kritamasta Kanchalim. Right? Bhashpavari Paripurna Lochanam. From the eyes, what is it? Bhashpavari. That blissful tears has to come down. That should be the mood. So that is Hanumanji. That's the top class Vaishnava. In Sri Vaishnavism, they are considering him very high. So, if at all, if you want to ask any benediction, one can ask benediction as the gopis asked in the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is in the 10th canto, then chapter number 22, verse number 4. Can anybody take that? Katyayini Mahamayi, Mahayogin Adishwari, Nandagopa Sutam Devi, Patim Me Kurate Namaha.
Shloka number, Prabhuji?
10:22:5, I think.
Anna. అవునవును చేపిస్తాను ఏమని
10:22:4. Prabhu.
10:22:5, Mataji. It's mentioned in the purport here, no? Gopis, for example, worshipped Katyayani, a Devata, but only asked benediction Krishna as their husband.
Ramakrishna Prabhuji, please kindly mute Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Who is the host? They can do it. Muting. Because I don't have the host, so I'm unable to mute it.
Evam Masam Vratam Cheru. Is that Prabhuji?
No, Mataji. Katyayani Mahamayi. Next verse.
That is fourth, Prabhu.
Maybe fourth
10,
verse.
That is
22 fourth, Prabhu.
4 maybe. I by mistake said 5.
10:22:4, yeah.
Please post it. It's a very important verse. One has to memorize it. कात्यायनी महामायी महायोगिन अधीश्वरी नंदगोपसुतं देवी पतिं मे कुरुते नमः इति मंत्रं जपत् Mataji, can you make it bigger? Oh, wait. Japatyantastaha puja chakruhu kumarikaha. So the gopis asked for, what is that? Nanda Gopa Sutam Devi Patim Me Kurte Namaha. Somebody can read the translation, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Translation. Mataji, little bit you have to scroll up, Mataji.
You have increased the font, reduce the font. You'll get the full screen.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Translation, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Each of the young unmarried girls performed her worship while chanting the following mantra. O goddesses Katyayini, a great potency of the Lord. O possessor of great mystic power and mighty controller of all. Please make the son of Nanda Maharaj my husband. I offer my obeisances unto you. Hare Krishna.
Purport is also very small. I think so, correct? Or very big. Okay, no problem. It's big. Leave it. No problem. Okay. So now we have got clues. Come back to our today's shloka. Somebody can post it in the group so that they can memorize it. 10:22:4. Mataji, today's verse. Can we go to that? Okay, I got it here. No problem. My own screen, I have it. Okay. So like this, we can get n number of examples, n number of acharyas. I told you also, Katwang Maharaj, he was asked some benediction. He also said, no, I don't want any benediction. Then Muchkunda was approached. Again, they also said, no benediction. Sorry. So these are the top class Vaishnavas who have understood the meaning of benediction. Especially Mukunda was tempted by Krishna himself directly. Take some benediction from me. First, the Devatas were willing to give some benediction. He said no. Again, the Lord, Supreme Lord, Krishna himself was about to give him. He said no. And after 2 verses, this Krishna is telling, I just tempted you, but you are very strong and you are not falling down. This is coming in 10:51, Mataji, verse number 37, I think so. Can you take it? That's also Muchkunda. And Lord says like this. You are not tempted by my words. You are very strong, like that he says. Somebody can pick it, by that time they can complete. Okay, I will read out the balance purport in this.
Prabhu, what is the sloka number, Prabhu? Sorry.
10:51.
10:51.
I think so, 37 or 44. There are 2 verses. One verse he says, take some benediction. He says no. Then after 2 verses, the Lord is telling, I tried to tempt you, you are not falling prey to that. So a Vaishnava is always respectful to everyone. See, Kuvera was respected and he got the benediction what he wanted. What is the benediction? Remembering the Lord. He wanted something which would be favorable to his Krishna consciousness. That's very interesting. Hare Krishna. In the meanwhile, any questions?
It's 44, I think, Prabhu.
Mataji?
10:51, 44, I think.
10:20. 10:51, 44? Yeah.
Yeah.
Open it.
The translation says, Shukadeva Goswami said, Muchukunda bowed down to the Lord when he heard this. Remembering the words of the sage Garga, he joyfully recognized Krishna to be the Supreme Lord Narayana. The king then addressed him as follows. It comes
No,
like
Mataji,
that.
not this one.
That?
Further,
Okay.
the Lord himself says, I tempted you, but you were not falling prey to that, like that he says.
Okay, like that.
Somebody can search it. It is there in the paragraph. Oh, I forgot the number, 37 or 41, something like that. I'm not able to get it. Not 37, down below, I think so. Don't
43.
go.
Now choose some benedictions, he's saying.
Yeah. Wait. Muchukunda address, I don't want any benediction. The Lord says, Mataji, Bhagavan Vacha, it will come. Look at that verse. The Supreme Lord said like that, it will come. Look at that verse, that you will get it.
Yes, Prabhuji. From 47 till 50, it is not there, Prabhuji.
Okay, whatever it is. I am unable to recollect the number, but it is there in that. A little more up if you go, maybe. It will be coming as Sri Bhagavan Vacha, like that will come. You can look at it. Okay, leave it, no problem. You can do a homework on that. Hare Krishna, any questions, any doubts on that, please? Today's verses. So before I complete today's class, I want to announce one thing quickly. So for the Muslims, the Ramadan month starts from 28th or something like that, fasting month for them. So in Dubai, we were conducting the Bhagavatam session for the entire Ramadan month, being the working hours less, because they will be working 8 to 2 only. So the whole evening will be free. So we started it many years before. And this year, we are going there to do it, because when we were there, it was in our home. And after that, when we returned, they said, keep it in our houses. So all the devotees are keeping their houses. Even this Nita Varyani Mataji, Hare Krishna, Nitya Kishori Mataji, am I right?
Hare Krishna, Pranam Prabhuji, yes.
Hare Krishna. I can easily make out. So this Mataji also hosts the Bhagavatam session and the Tirupavai Mangalarti also. So what we do, we read the verses, we read the synonyms, we read the translation purport, and we discuss it. And we are in the 10th canto this year, and we have completed 31 chapters. We will be starting from chapter number 32. I'll tell you the dates. We will be starting from 27th February to 29th March. Make a note, 27/2 to 29/3. So every day evening it will be happening between 4:30 to 4:30 to 8:30 Dubai time. Indian time is 6 to 10. But in between there is one break, that is 22nd March to 28th March. There will be a Saptaham by Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. That will be happening in the evening. But our session may be there in the afternoons. We will update you. Only thing, those who want the flyer or details, they can contact me. I can give you that. It will be in English and Hindi. Okay.
Is it online or offline, Prabhuji?
Sorry?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, is it offline or online?
No, we will go to a devotee's house. We will be doing it, but parallelly we have got the online also, Zoom.
So is it in Dubai or Abu Dhabi?
No, it will be in Dubai only. Are you in Abu Dhabi?
Yes, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam to him.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
Prabhuji.
okay. Now I got it. Okay. So I will be coming to Abu Dhabi for some Sunday year programs. I will speak to, what is his name?
Rasamridas or
Bahurupa.
Bahurupa Prabhuji, yes.
Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji. That's nice to know. I will definitely make it a point to
Mataji, you
attend.
have my number, I think so. You can send a Hare Krishna. I will send you the links and other thing. You can distribute to those who want it.
Sure, Prabhuji. Sure.
I think you have my number, right?
If you are in the group, otherwise I will take it from
No,
Narayani.
I am not in your group, because every time Narayani is sending me separately. Okay.
Okay. So how do I go about it? Should I ask Narayani Mataji about it?
Either way, as you wish, no problem.
Fine, Prabhuji. I'll speak to Narayani Mataji and get your contact details.
So you can give it to those who want it. Okay.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Any other questions? Any other doubts? Because I have to do some packing today evening. We have a flight at 6 o'clock. We have to get ready.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Kubera also gave the benediction, like to how Dhruva can remember the Lord all the time. So they are able to give the benediction, no, Prabhuji? Like supreme spiritual masters. Spiritual masters.
Yeah, the Devi Devatas are capable of giving Krishna Bhakti. But unfortunately, we don't know that. Many people are not knowing. Especially in ISKCON, we know that we approach the Devi Devatas for only Krishna Bhakti. Even if you go to Shiva temple, even if you go to Ganesh Ji, what we have to ask for? Only Krishna Bhakti, nothing else. So Yaksha, Kuvera is also one among them. Right? He is serving the Lord. He is the treasurer for the wealth of the Lord.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
If somebody is asking my phone number, I can give it in the chat. So
I will share, Prabhuji. I'll share, Prabhuji.
okay,
to
I will
Mataji.
send it now. Okay. No, I will give the Indian number wherein you can get in touch with me on the WhatsApp. Have you got it? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, then please. Okay, any other question, any other doubts on this today's class?
No raised
Hare
hands,
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
no raised
Hare Krishna,
hands.
Mataji.
Hare
can
Krishna,
continue.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, you always stress on memorizing of slokas. Can you give us tips, Prabhu? We are not in this Kali Yuga, you know how the memory thing is. So how can we learn, and just tips we wanted to learn, Prabhu?
Okay. So I'll tell you, there are 2-3 methods. One method, we always have a class called as Stuti class. So wherein we train them in such a way, they get the translation, and from translation, they go to the sloka, from sloka to translation, both ways. So it is registered in the mind very well. There is another way of doing it, is writing the verses for at least 3-4 times while reciting. Or there is a third method wherein you say makpat, no, in schools and colleges. You keep on reciting it for 10 times, 20 times, you get it. And once you memorize it, what is more important is there should be a adhyayana. Everyday basis, you have to keep reciting it. Unless a rotation. Because there are so much of slokas, keep a number every day. I will recite 20 slokas, 30 slokas like that. Keep rotating for the whole month or whole year. You'll get the cycle, you will remember it.
Okay, Prabhu.
That's very important.
Okay, Prabhu.
Because we have got 24/7, no? We have got ample time in a day. Definitely we can spend time for the sloka memorization. Most welcome. We have the Stuti class also, if you can get into that.
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Mataji is asking for the black tilak.
Yeah, I was just going to.
Hare Krishna. This is from Radha Kund. Very rarely we get this tilak stick. Fortunately, I got it some months or years back. I don't remember now. So I have a stick. I'm trying to use it as much as I can so that I improve my bhakti level. Hare Krishna. Any other question?
Hare Krishna. There are no raised hands, Prabhu.
Okay, ma. Thank you.
Session with prayers?
Yeah, we'll do the prayers.
Yeah. Vancha,
Prayers for a few more devotees. I'll quickly tell the names. Avinash Shankar, Varun Vedaraman, His Holiness Jayapatak Swami Maharaj, His Grace Kratu Prabhu and his wife. And anybody else, you can include those names.
Mataji, I need prayers for my family also, Mataji.
Yeah, for children, those who are going for exam 10 and 12 also, we have to pray.
Yes. Should we chant
Himavan,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So for our travel also, please pray Yatra.
Sure.
Hare Krishna.
Devotees, you can unmute and we can chant one round of Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama, Rama
Hare Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
All of you, thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you so much,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. We all wish you a happy and safe,
Hare Krishna.
peacefully and
Thank you, ma. Thank you.
Happy
Ma.
Prabhu,
journey,
wish you a
Prabhu.
very safe
Thank
journey
you,
and a
thank
very
you, thank you,
successful
thank you, ma. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
seminar. Hare Krishna. Prabhu,
Hare
I'll end the
Krishna.
class.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Danvat Pranam.